After years of raising, guiding, and sacrificing for your children, one day you may notice things are different. They may stop listening to your advice, dismiss your opinions, or speak to you with condescension, or worse, treat you like a burden. And that hurts. If your children have begun showing you less respect, it's normal to feel upset or even angry. You might want to remind them of everything you've done for them over the years, but the truth is, getting angry won't change anything. In fact, it can make things worse. Instead, there are smarter, calmer ways to reclaim your dignity and earn back their respect. Today, I'll share 6 powerful shifts you can make that don't involve arguing or resentment. These small changes in your behavior can transform how your children see and treat you. Some of these may surprise you, but if you stay with me until the end, you'll learn how to become a respected and valued presence in their lives again. Action 1. Stop seeking their approval. Many older parents try too hard to please their children. Maybe you always say yes even when you want to say no. You put their needs above your own, hoping they'll appreciate you more. But here's the hard truth. Constantly chasing approval often leads to losing their respect. Respect isn't earned through sacrifice. It's earned through self-respect. When you always give in, you teach them that your feelings don't matter, and they may begin to take you for granted. Take the example of Sophia, a once strong and independent woman who, with time, let her children make all the decisions. She thought she was keeping the peace by staying silent and accommodating them, but in reality, she lost her voice. If your children don't respect you, the first step is not to demand it, but to stop acting like you need it. Speak your mind, set boundaries, and you'll begin to shift how they see you. Action 2. Don't argue. Lead by example. When you're disrespected, your instinct might be to argue. But arguing rarely changes minds. It usually just escalates tension. Respect isn't won with words, but with how you carry yourself. Consider Rio, a retired teacher. At home, his children ignored and belittled him. At first, he fought back, but it only made things worse. Then he changed his approach. He stopped arguing and started responding with calm confidence. He led by example. Over time, his children noticed. They saw a man who didn't beg for respect, but already lived with it, and they began to treat him accordingly. Action 3. Let go of emotional dependence. It's natural to want your children to love and appreciate you, but when they sense that your happiness depends on them, it can feel like pressure. People respect those who are emotionally independent. Rena, a loving mother, spent her later years waiting by the phone. When her children didn't call, she reached out repeatedly, often reminding them how lonely she felt. Instead of bringing them closer, this made them pull away. But when Helen shifted her focus to her own life, exploring hobbies and building her own joy, her children began calling more often. They respected her independence and admired her strength. Action 4. Set and enforce boundaries. Respect is lost when boundaries aren't clear. If you tolerate being dismissed, interrupted, or disrespected, it teaches others that this behavior is acceptable. Setting boundaries doesn't mean creating conflict. It means calmly stating what you will and won't tolerate. Robbie, a retired businessman, let his grown children talk over him and belittle his opinions until one day he drew the line. He began calmly asserting his expectations, and though his children resisted at first, they eventually adjusted. They saw that he valued himself and began to do the same. Action 5. Stop giving without appreciation. Giving without being valued only breeds entitlement, not gratitude. As parents, we often give too much, our time, support, and even money, without receiving thanks. But when generosity is expected, it loses its meaning. Johnny was a generous father who always helped his children, but they began taking him for granted. When he finally stopped overextending himself and started saying no, they were shocked. But eventually, they began appreciating his efforts, because they realized his kindness was a gift, not a guarantee. Action 6. Build a life outside of your children. The greatest way to earn your children's respect is to show that your life is full, with or without them. When you have your own purpose, passions, and friendships, you no longer seem like someone who's just waiting for their attention. Erica, a widow, initially poured all her energy into her children's lives. But instead of feeling closer, they pulled away. When she shifted her focus and began doing things for herself, her children started reaching out more. They admired her independence and saw her in a new light. Final thoughts. Respect can't be forced. It must be inspired. You do this through the way you carry yourself, the boundaries you set, and the life you lead. If your children are treating you with less care or consideration, don't get angry. Change your approach. Stop needing their approval. Lead with dignity, be emotionally independent, set firm boundaries. Don't give endlessly without appreciation. And most importantly, build a fulfilling life that doesn't revolve around them. When you do these things, your children will begin to see you differently, not as someone waiting for respect, but as someone who already deserves it. And in time, that respect will return, not because you demanded it, but because you truly earned it.